Greetings, YouTubers. How's it going out there in YouTube land? Hopefully everything's going pretty good for you. This is my 2010 F-150 that I picked up fairly cheap, and it runs, but I do have to do a little bit of cam phaser work on it, some VVT work, some minor things. It runs, it's just I got to recheck the light engine on right now, so that's another story. But in the last video that I did, we had a problem with the key. You turn the key on, thing wouldn't start. The security light would be flashing off real crazy like and everything. So I finally figured out what was going with that. And it was intermittent. And I got to the point thinking, well, it couldn't be the key, because if it was the key, it wouldn't start, period. You know, it just intermittently like that. There was something else going on, but we'll talk about that in a second. But right now, I've got the battery charger on it. And hear this. I don't know what's going on. Everything's off. The lights are off. The key is out of the ignition. And we just have this random digging going on. So I still haven't figured this out. And it'll do it if you don't start the thing up and you just pull the key out. But you can see the lights are off. Don't know what's going on. I've checked all the doors. Walk around here, show you all the doors are shut. It's like the thing says, hey, you left your key in the ignition. On this side, you can see the doors are shut completely. There's no lights on. Everything's off. Lights are off. But we have this dinging. So maybe if I put the key back in and start it up, it'll go away. But what I wanted to show you was, now when I get in, I put the key in, I turn it on, the security light doesn't flash no more, and it starts up. Now see, the dinging went away when I put the key in, so it's got a gremlin, it's got a wiring problem. I read somewhere online that the 2010 F-150s were the worst year with problems with electrical issues and all that. But you can hear it runs pretty good. And before, in an earlier video, if you would see that video, once I started it, if I shut it off, it wouldn't start back up. But now, watch this. No problem. And I started having this problem. Let's see if this dinging goes away. Shut the battery. Shut the door. There we go. All right, so, you know, it could be something with these door latches. Maybe they need greased up or something. It's kind of like when you have a jar light on. So let's see. Well, it went off that time. Now, I did two things. I got frustrated yesterday, so I just left the key on the run position, hooked the battery up, and hooked the charger up on it, and I just let it set for 10 or 15 minutes. Came out, still wouldn't start. Had the security light flashing. So I just went away for a half hour, left everything on. I thought, well, maybe something will happen here with the key. And, you know, maybe it'll start talking to the computer and it'll start up. Well, I came out a half hour later, hit the key, started right up. I was like, hey, I must have fixed it. So I shut the key off, started up fine. So, you know, I was all happy. I actually did it 3 or 4 times. I was all proud of myself, only to find out later, about 6 hours later, I come back out later, it wouldn't start again. And by this time, it was dark. And I thought, well, I don't know. So I put the key back in. It wouldn't do anything. But one thing I noticed, and I know it's light now, and I wish it was a little dark when I'm doing this video, I can explain this to you. For some reason, the cluster light here, it would come on and go back off. When I had the key on, it would stay completely dark. And I went down here to my lights, turned the lights on. I had lights and everything, but I had no dash lights. I was like, why is it so dark? And also, none of the park, reverse, none of this stuff was lit up. So I had the key still on, trying to figure out why I wouldn't start with the security light flashing. And all I did was take my hand and hit the dash a couple of times here. The lights came back on and the security light quit flashing. Now, since I've done that, you know, I hit it a couple of times and has not been a problem. So if this happens to you, if it's night and you notice you don't have any lights up here, hit your dash. I can't explain why this happened to me and why it fixed it. So I don't think the problem here is this key, the little chip in it. I think it's just some wiring issues, electrical gremlins. But that normal blinking light you see there slowly blinking means that the anti-theft system is working. But I can put the key in now, and it's been 2 days now. Starts right up. No problems. So I just want to make this video. And I'll tell you, when I started having these problems is when I had the battery disconnected for about a week or so in the winter time, because it was cold and something was draining the battery, and I still haven't quite figured out what that was. Or then again, I just could have had a bad battery. And I checked the voltage. The voltage is way up, you know, where it should be. And it wasn't really a battery problem. It was, I think, more or less a problem here with the dash. So I can't explain why hitting the dash and having the lights come back on here would make this key work. So yeah. And we'll shut it off. I'll shut the door. Now see, the dinging has gone away. I need to start driving this truck. Once I get my VVT sensors and all that, I'm going to start driving this and get the gremlins worked out. But I think it's going to be an okay truck for no more than I paid for it, you know. So we'll lock it. You can see the fob key works fine. Now we'll unlock it and put the key back in. And see, the security light went off. It's not flashing and starts right up. So in a nutshell, if you have problems with this key here, if you notice, even if it's in the daytime, bang on your dash a little bit and see if that security light will go off, and maybe this will, you know, reconnect, you know, get a signal to the transponder to the computer. Now, one thing I'm going to do here is, since I had the battery unhooked, what we're going to do is unhook this battery for a few minutes, or, you know, and come back and see if this thing still starts up. Because I know I had a problem with memory there for a while. It seemed like that's when I got into the issue. So let me unhook this battery and see what we get here. All right, so it's been about, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. And this is when I would start having problems. I'd hook the battery back up and the thing wouldn't do anything. So I took this cable back up, and I've even got the charger unhooked. And I've been reading online, this is when people start having problems with the vehicle not starting. It's when they change out the battery, or they leave it set for a long time without the battery unhooked. And things just get kind of weird with it sitting around. But like I said, I had read somewhere online, I don't know if you guys can verify this for me, that the 2010 was the first year they started having problems. It was the worst year, I should say, for this truck. But I don't know. Everything else seems to be all right. So let's put the key in. Now let's see if it starts up. So our security light goes out. So the security light went out. And I don't understand why they got this where the damn radio always comes on when you unhook the battery. And boom, starts right up. So I think we fixed the problem. If this ever happens to me again, I'll know, just kind of hit this dash. I may actually pull this cluster out and check those wires in the back and put some diacetyl grease on it in the back, so it'll have a better connection. So, but I think the main key is here, it needs to be driven. The worst thing you can do is let a vehicle sit, you know. So I don't know, maybe this video will help somebody out and all that. So I'm really excited now. I'm getting ready to work on it, do it one more time. And as you can see, the security light, which is right there, I'll take the key back out and you'll see it flashing right there. And really, all you got to do, you don't even have to start the thing. Just turn the key on the on position. There's the security light. It should go out. Now, if that thing is flashing really, really fast, this thing is not starting. But it's not flashing. It should start right up. Yay! So if anything changes down the road, guys, I'll let you know in a next video for this truck. Because I know a lot of people have these trucks. And these things are popular and they're, I tell you what, this truck right now books for almost 10 grand, which I can't believe for 2010. These things are hard to find now for some reason. I don't know, I guess maybe people are just going back to the old school method of having vehicles. But other than that, just make sure your battery voltage is up where it should be and all that. I've heard some stories, and I can't confirm this, online where if your battery voltage is low enough, the solenoids will not kick in, but I really don't buy that. But you can see our charger here is right up there where it should be. That battery is fully charged. So there you go, guys. So there's a quick video and update on this truck. Hopefully, if you have this problem, you can do some of the things that I talked about here, and maybe that'll get you home and get you down the road. I was that close. I mean, that close of taking this thing to the Ford garage spending $200 onto it. So it goes to show, if you have a little patience, and thank goodness for the internet, we all can learn something, especially from each other. And having said that, hey, let me know where you're watching from right now. And until my next video, guys, I will see you later.